Wood Iron Eatery started on a car ride across country. My wife and I had moved from Los Angeles and we were moving back east. On our way back, we zigzagged across the United States and I fantasized about this place. I was like, man, it'd be really cool if we could open up a little breakfast place, you know, and just kind of play some fun music and make some coffees. And the moment I stepped inside here, I was like, yeah, this is it. But it's too bad that there's already a place like this right here. And then fast forward 3 years later, the place was vacant. The job that I was working down the street had auctioned me off. The landlord of this building, I went to his house and cooked him and his girl like a 7-course meal, and I was a little apprehensive. My wife kept saying, go for it. But she was 8 months pregnant and we were getting ready to have a kid, and I was like, you do realize that you're asking me to quit my job and spend a bunch of money. And she was like, yeah, this is what you need to do. So I listened to her and Wood Iron Eatery was born. Food is definitely something I've always been passionate about. I come from, my grandmother was a chef. She worked at a small diner. My parents too are like huge cooks, and they were a huge influence in cooking for me. I had seen it all through my career. When I moved to Hawaii, I worked with this guy, and he told me, all you have to do to make food good is show it aloha, show it love. So if you show food love, you treat the ingredients with respect, and you try your best, it's gonna translate into that dish, and people are gonna really like it because you're trying to do well. Well, it all came full circle because I realized that's what my mother and father had been doing their whole life for us, is like trying to make us good food. When we opened, it was a disaster. Our first day was horrible. To me, maybe not to the people up front. We had some people say it was good. I personally was like, there's no flow here, it's not working. So I couldn't wait to close that first day. I took the menu and literally balled it up and threw it in the trash and rewrote it. The next day we came in and it was like night and day. Like the menu flowed, everything, the little kinks were worked out, and that's what we needed. We needed one bad day. We wanted it to be approachable. I didn't want anything that was crazy. When I look at food in two ways. You can be cutting edge and you can be making food that's no one has ever seen before, and no one has ever like combined these ingredients before. And that's great. Those restaurants have a place. But for me, the other side of it is you can take classic dishes, simple dishes, and just make them really well. If they're made really well, then it translates into deliciousness. You know, people are like, oh, that's the best biscuit I've ever had, you know? So my mom showed me this. She's like, you gotta cut your butter in when it's frozen. So she showed me how to do it on a grater, and ever since then I'm like, oh yeah, this is the way to make biscuits or scones or whatever you're making. And she's probably gonna hate me for giving her secret away. Guess what, Mom? It's all on the internet. Give your biscuits a nice little sheen. I always tell all the guys in the kitchen, I'm like, line them up like little soldiers. So we'll stick a little Gouda on top of them and finish them off. And we'll pop these in the oven. Whoop. Make some sausage gravy here. So we got some house-made sausage, and we're gonna render that out a little bit. So render means to pull the fat out. You're cooking the meat and you're rendering the fat, so it should get the meat, as the meat gets cooked, you'll see the oil separate it from the fat will separate. Add a little seasoning to that. A little salt, a little pepper flakes. We're gonna add some flour and we're gonna make what you call roux. So roux is fat and flour, and you wanna cook the flour to get that raw flour taste out. Then we're gonna add hot liquid to it, and that's gonna be our sausage gravy. I'm gonna add it a little bit at a time. You don't wanna add too much and like make it real thin, but you also wanna add enough so that it's not too thick. Let this cook over here. In the meantime, probably cooking an egg to me is like one of the sexiest things. It's like, it's very simple. I'll pop this in. All right, we got some Gouda cheddar biscuits there. Let's go sit for a sec. Pop these apart. Woo! There you go, we got a dish. We got a little roasted leek and Gouda cheese biscuits with a fried egg and some sausage gravy with pickled Fresnos. I think what makes Wood Iron unique is that we are a chef-driven family business. So you go to some businesses and they might be successful enough to hire on staff. No matter how good your staff is, your staff will never care about your place as much as you do. And I'm here every day, and I love coming in here every day. I love our customers. I love what we do. And that, I think, sets us aside, because when I make something, I'm making it to represent me, to represent my family, to represent Wood Iron. I want it to be the best. I'm not going for, you know, any awards, but I definitely take some pride in what I do, and I want people to leave out of here feeling like they got a good, wholesome meal. So I think that's what sets us aside. So I get this all the time where people are like, I don't want any butter. I'm like, I don't cook with butter, it's really expensive. I do cook with butter, but when we do like breads and whatnot, we're using a canola olive oil blend, which is a little more healthy and it's just as good. Browns up bread nice, makes it nice and crusty. That's it, that's our hipster bread right there. Avocado, smashed avocado. We got house-made burrata with our JQ Dickinson sumac salt, a little bit of pickled red onion, and some arugula. Menu's sort of small, our kitchen's small, our restaurant's small, but we have big, bold plates. You know, like people leave out of here all the time telling either the baristas or myself and Andrew in the back, hey, that was like the best meal I've had. And man, it makes me feel good. Cause really that's all we wanted to do, was like make good food for people around here and bring what I had experienced traveling all over to the little town of Fayetteville, West Virginia.